The wind was cold. The sky above the forest was dark, only a few stars shining through the clouds. Trees stood tall like silent watchers, and the sound of night insects filled the air. In the middle of the forest, a young woman was running. Her name was Leah. Her boots hit the wet ground fast, her breath heavy. Something or someone was chasing her. She didn't look back. Her heart beat loud in her chest, and her hands were shaking. She had no map, no signal, no idea where she was going. Snap! A dry branch broke under her foot. Snap! Another sound, but not from her. It came from behind. She ran faster, then crack. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through her leg. Her body fell forward with a scream. She tried to get up but couldn't move her right foot. She looked down and her eyes, filled with fear. Her leg was caught in a metal trap. The teeth of the trap had closed on her ankle. Blood ran down into the dirt. The pain was burning. Her hands moved quickly, trying to open the trap, but it was too strong. She screamed for help. Help, somebody. But the forest stayed silent. She cried, biting her lip. The cold wind moved the trees slowly, like they were watching her. Her eyes filled with tears, not just from pain, but from fear. She looked up at the sky. One bright star was moving, a shooting star. She took a deep breath and whispered, "I don't want to die here, Pot. Please. I just want to survive." The wind grew quiet. The insects stopped. Even the trees seemed to freeze. Then she heard it. Footsteps. Far, but getting closer. Slow, heavy footsteps. One step, another. Leaves crunched under the weight. "Hello?" Leah said, her voice shaking. "Who's there?" No answer. She held her breath. Out of the trees, a figure appeared. A man, tall. His face was hidden under a hood, and he wore dark clothes that didn't look normal, almost like armor. His boots were strong, but silent. He stopped a few feet away from her. Double quotes, "Please. Help me," Leah said. The man didn't speak. He just stared at her. She could not see his eyes. "Who are you?" she asked again. Still no answer. He knelt beside her. Slowly, without saying a word, he pulled a small tool from his jacket. It looked strange, like a flashlight, but it made a soft humming sound. He pointed it at the trap. Click. The trap opened. By itself. Leah gasped, her leg free, though still bleeding. She looked at him. "Thank you." Still, the man said nothing. He stood up and started walking away. "Who are you? Where are you going?" He turned slightly, looked at her, then pointed into the forest. "You want me to follow?" she asked. A small nod. Leah was scared. But being alone in this place was worse. She stood up slowly, putting her weight on the other leg. It hurt, but she could walk. They walked together through the forest. The man walked like he knew every tree, every stone. Leah followed, limping slightly. After a while she said, "Are you from around here?" No reply. She tried again. "I'm looking for my brother. He went missing 2 days ago. I came to search. The man stopped. Slowly turned. "You saw him?" she asked, eyes wide. The man didn't nod. Didn't shake his head. He raised his hand and pointed ahead. Leah looked. Between the trees, in the distance, she saw a red light blinking. "What's that?" The man didn't answer. He just kept walking. The deeper they went, the stranger the forest felt. The trees looked unnatural. Some had marks, symbols cut into the bark. Others had small metal pieces stuck in them. Leah felt like something was wrong. Very wrong. Then she stopped. Her ears caught something. A low growl. From the shadows, yellow eyes opened. A creature, big and fast, moved between the trees. Leah's heart jumped. What was that? The man stepped in front of her. He pulled something from his belt, a device with a soft blue light. The creature ran away. The forest went quiet again. What is this place? Leah whispered. The man turned to her and finally spoke. His voice was low, calm, but serious. "This is not just a forest," he said. "It's a test." Lia's eyes widened. "What do you mean?" "What kind of test?" The man didn't answer. Behind them, in the distance, the red light blinked again, and somewhere in the darkness, a machine clicked on watching. The stranger in the dark, the forest was silent again. Too silent. Lia stood still, her leg hurting, her breath short. The tall man in black was walking ahead, slow, careful, like he didn't trust the forest. She limped after him, heart beating fast. Then she blinked. He was gone. Just like that. No sound, no warning. The man had disappeared into thin air. "Wait, where did you go?" Lia called out. Only the trees answered. A soft wind moved the leaves. Above her head, the red blinking light in the distance had stopped. The forest was darker now. Too dark. She took a step forward, trying to follow the last place she saw him. Snap. Another dry twig broke under her boot. This time it wasn't hers. She turned around fast. "Who's there?" she said. No answer, but something was there, watching. Hiding. Lia took a flashlight from her backpack. It flickered once, then died. "Great," she whispered, panic rising. Suddenly, a whisper, very close to her ear. It said her name. Lia. She froze. The voice wasn't human. It was cold, distant, like a recording. But broken, glitching. "Who's doing this?" she shouted, spinning in circles. The trees around her lit up for just a second with symbols. Glowing blue shapes drawn on the bark like code. They faded again in seconds. Lia stepped back, shaking. Then she tripped. She fell hard on the ground, dirt and leaves flying up around her. As she pushed herself up, her hand touched something. Something cold and metal. She looked. It was a photo. Old, dirty, but clear enough. Her brother's face stared back at her. Her hands shook. No. How is this here? The last time she saw him, he was packing for a hiking trip. He had said, "Don't follow me if I don't come back." But she did. She had to. Now his photo was half buried in the dirt of a forest that made no sense. Quiet beep made her look up. Not far ahead, a small light was flashing behind a bush. Lia crawled toward it. She pushed the branches aside and found a metal box. On it was written, "Subject file number 2 Lia." Her blood turned cold. She opened it. Inside was a small black screen with a red button blinking. She pressed it. The screen turned on, a video started, and there he was, the man in black, but younger. No hood, no armor. Just a simple black shirt. His voice was clearer now. "If you're seeing this," he said, "you're inside the test zone. I know you're scared. I was too." Lia's eyes widened. This was recorded before. "You've been selected. You're being studied. Everything is watching you. The trees, the animals, the traps. All of it is part of something bigger." He paused. "And you're not the only one." The screen went black. Suddenly, a noise behind her. She turned. The man was back, standing there. No sound. No expression. "You left," Lia said, her voice a mix of fear and anger. "Where did you go?" He didn't answer. He looked at her, then at the box in her hand. "You saw the video?" he asked. She nodded. "Then you know," he said. "This place is not real. It's a design. You were brought here for a reason." "Why me?" Lia shouted. "What do you want from me?" The man looked up at the sky. The clouds were moving away. A strange light was shining down, not from the moon. Lia followed his gaze. A second star appeared. It blinked. Then moved. "That's not a star, is it?" she whispered. "No," he said. "It's a watcher. And it just saw you." Suddenly, the ground beneath her shook. Trees bent as if something massive had walked past. The red light returned, this time flashing faster like an alarm. The man grabbed her arm. "If we stay here, we die." Then where do we go? He looked toward the mountains in the distance. To the source, he said. To where this test began. And they ran together into the dark. Voices in the trees. Night was heavy. The kind of silence that didn't feel natural. As Leia ran with the stranger through the forest. She felt something shift, not just in the trees. But inside her. The forest was changing. Or maybe she was. They had stopped near a hill covered in thick roots. Leia leaned against a tree, her legs still hurting, breathing hard. The man stood nearby, watching the dark sky. We need to keep moving, he said, but Leia wasn't listening, because the tree behind her was whispering, not in words, not in sound, in feeling. Like a voice in her chest. She stepped back. Her hand touched the bark. And suddenly, her mind flashed. A memory she never remembered having, her as a child. Standing in this exact forest. Laughing, holding someone's hand, her brother's? No, this was before him. What was that? She whispered. The man turned. The trees can pull memory. They remember things we've forgotten. Or, things we were made to forget. Leia stared at him. What are you talking about? Made to forget? He walked closer. This forest is old, but not natural. It's a mirror. It shows people who they really are or what someone wants them to be. As he spoke, the wind moved the trees again. The leaves shook, and this time she clearly heard voices. Children laughing. Someone screaming, a song in another language. Her own name. Double quotes. Leia. Double quotes again. She covered her ears. Make it stop. The man stepped closer and placed a hand on the tree. It won't stop until you listen. Suddenly, the roots below Leia's feet moved, not a lot, just enough to make her jump. A part of the ground opened, like a mouth. Underneath was a staircase carved into the earth, glowing faintly blue. Leia and the man looked at each other. What is this? She asked. The voice of the forest is leading you. It wants you to see something. Leia didn't trust it. But something inside her said she had no choice. They stepped down into the earth. The stairs led to a strange underground tunnel. The walls were smooth, almost metallic, but covered in dirt and old roots. It smelled like metal and wet stone. At the end of the tunnel, a soft light flickered. They followed it. Then they saw it. A giant screen, built into the stone. Wires everywhere, and in front of the screen. A chair, straps on the arms. A headpiece above, like a machine used for experiments. On the floor beside it was a folder. Leia picked it up. Her hands shook as she read the label. Project, voice, subject. LIA, age, 6 to 19. Status, active. She froze. No, I've never been part of anything like this. This has to be fake. The man was quiet. You were chosen long ago, he said. Leia looked up at him, eyes full of confusion and anger. Chosen for what? The screen turned on. Static, then her face. Sitting in the chair. Years ago. Crying. Saying something. Leia's voice from the past echoed. Please don't make me forget. Him. I promise I'll be good. Please. Leia stepped back. No, I don't remember this. You were made not to, the man said. They erased parts of your memory to test how far the mind can stretch when alone, afraid. And unaware. The screen flashed again. Now her brother's face appeared. But this time, he wasn't lost. He was inside the same experiment. They tested both of you, the man said. Only one was supposed to remember. That one is you. Leia fell to her knees. Why? Why me? The man didn't answer. Because something else did. The screen went black and then words appeared. Stage 3. Awareness achieved. Begin survival. Phase 2. Suddenly, alarms rang. The floor vibrate. The door behind them closed with a loud thud. And from the far end of the tunnel, a shape moved. Large. Fast. Not human. The screen blinked one last message. Run. The experiment, the tunnel was shaking. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. A loud mechanical growl echoed from the dark. Leah ran. The man was beside her, silent and focused. His eyes scanned every corner. But Leah's heart was loud racing. Panicking, behind them something was chasing. It wasn't just fast, it was smart. They reached a heavy door. The man pulled out a small device, pressed it against a panel, and the door slid open with a hiss. They rushed inside. The door slammed. Shut behind them. Silence. They were inside a new space. A wide, clean room with white walls and smooth silver floors. Leah froze. This wasn't part of the forest. This looked like a lab. Long glass windows on one side showed old computer screens. Wires hung from the ceiling. Large machines blinked softly. Still alive. What is this place? Leah whispered. The man finally answered. The center. The reason this forest exists. He walked to a console and wiped the dust off. A monitor lit up, showing a map not of a forest, but a dome. A massive circle with paths, zones, sensors. This isn't just a forest, he said. It's a controlled world. Built to watch. How people survive when everything is fake. Leah stepped back, trying to breathe. I'm inside a lab experiment? The man nodded. You were placed here, observed for years. Every memory you have of coming to find your brother was planted. She shook her head. No, I chose to come, I remember. No, Leah, that was part of the script. We created the memory. We watched how far you'd go to protect someone. Leah stared at him. We? The man looked down. I used to work here, he said. I helped design this place. I helped choose you. Leah's body went cold. You lied to me. I tried to get you out, he said. But it's not that simple. The system doesn't want you to leave. Suddenly, the lights turned red. A voice echoed from the ceiling. Subject awake. Control lost. Initiate restraint. Metal doors locked. Steam hissed from the walls. A large glass pod in the center of the room began to open. Inside was a chair. The same one Leah saw in the underground tunnel. Only now. It was waiting for her. Double quotes. No, I'm not going in that, she said, backing away. You already did, the man replied. You're seeing this place because the machine allowed it. But it's watching your choices now, and it doesn't like what you're choosing. Leah felt lightheaded. Like the air was thinner. The screens around her started showing videos. Her childhood, her fake memories, her brother, herself screaming, crying. Then a live feed of her now. Cameras were still watching. Everywhere. One screen showed her vitals, heart rate, brain waves, oxygen levels. Another showed a chart. Phase 1, confusion. Complete. Phase 2, connection. Complete. Phase 3, awareness. Complete. Phase 4, rebellion. In progress. Leah stared at the last line. What's Phase 5? She asked. The man looked away. You don't want to know. The pod behind her beeped again. Suddenly. Bang. The glass window cracked. Something outside the lab was hitting it. A large shadow moved past. It had arms, legs, but no face. Like a blank human made of black smoke. It screamed. The man pulled Leah behind a console. That's what happens when subjects break too far, he said. They become shadows of themselves. Glitches in the code. Leah felt like screaming. What do I do now? He looked at her. You finished the experiment. You beat it. How? You stop running. You enter the machine by choice, and you take back your memories. Leah stared at the pod. Or the forest resets. You lose everything, again. The glass behind them broke. The shadow slipped inside, crawling, dragging itself like a spider. Leah had seconds to decide. Her body moved. She ran to the pod, stepped inside, and let it close around her. The machine turned on, and the last thing she Heard before blacking out. Was her own voice whispering, "Find the truth. Don't trust the forest." The loop. Leah opened her eyes. The first thing she saw was the sky blue, calm, peaceful. Birds were singing. Leaves danced in the wind. For a moment, it felt normal. Too normal. She sat up. No machines. No lab. No screaming shadow. Just trees. Just forest. Her leg wasn't hurt. Her clothes were clean. The metal trap was gone. What? She stood slowly. It was like waking from a bad dream, but it didn't feel right. It felt too quiet. Too perfect. She checked her pocket. A photo. Her brother. Smiling. Just like before. She turned it over. The back had words now. Start again. Don't remember. Her stomach dropped. No. No, this can't be happening again. She looked around. The trees, the same path, the same broken branch. Everything looked exactly like the beginning. Like part one. But this time, something was off. Too bright, too clean, no bugs. No sound. She ran down the path, fast. Her breath came quicker. Her heart pounded. Then dash up ahead. The trap. Set, ready, waiting. She stared at it. And then her memory hit her like a wave. She had already been here. She had already been caught. She had already wished upon the star. No, she whispered. This isn't real. This is a loop. Just then footsteps behind her. Slow. Heavy. She turned. It was her. Another Leah. Standing in the same spot she had been days ago. Same fear in her eyes. Same dirt on her jacket. The new Leah took a step forward and stepped into the trap. Snap. The sound echoed. The old Leah screamed and stepped back, horrified. The trap had caught her. Again. But it wasn't her this time. Or maybe it was. The forest glitched. For a second, the trees blinked like a computer screen. The grass turned blue. The sky flickered to black and back to blue. Leah covered her ears. No. Let me out. I finished the test. A voice answered, not from behind her, but from inside her head. You chose the loop. You didn't choose truth. She fell to her knees. The forest around her changed. The trees became mirrors. Dozens of versions of her crying, running, screaming, breaking. All the time she had failed. All the time she had believed the story. And restarted. And then she saw it. In the center of the forest. A tower. A black tower, tall, strange, humming. With energy. It wasn't there before. Not in any version of the loop. She heard a voice. You want to end it? Go to the tower, but the truth will break you. She stood. Tears on her face. I don't care. I want out. She ran. Past the trap. Past the clone. Through the trees. The forest tried to stop her. Roots moved under her feet. The air got heavy. Whispers filled her ears. Turn back. Rest. Repeat. You are safe in the loop. But Leah didn't stop. She reached the tower. It had no door. Just a screen. She touched it. It came alive with a flash. Words appeared. You are subject number 7. You have failed 39 times. Begin final attempt? Her hand hovered over the yes icon. She looked back at the perfect forest, the false blue sky, the peaceful trap, and she pressed yes. The tower opened. Light poured out, and as she stepped inside. Her memories began to return. Not just from this forest. But from other tests, other lives, other versions of herself. She wasn't just trapped in a loop. She was the loop. The escape plan. Leah opened her eyes again, but this time, there were no trees. She stood in a space that had no shape, no sky, no walls, no ground, only light. White, endless light, like she was floating inside a dream that hadn't finished. Loading. She looked down. Her body was still hers, but something was different. Her skin shimmered faintly, like data, and then a voice behind her. You finally broke the loop. She turned. A boy, no older than 15, stood there. Messy hair. Calm eyes. He wore a jacket with the same logo from the lab. Project. Voice. Leah stepped back. Who are you? The boy smiled. I'm Subject 1. I've been here the longest. She stared at him. This place. It's not real, is it? He shook his head. It's not fake either. It's something in between. A simulation built on top of your real mind. Your emotions fuel it. Your fear shapes it. Leah blinked. I'm powering my own prison? Yes, he said. And the only way out is to kill the system that built it. From the white around them, a map appeared, floating in the air. A design of the whole forest, tunnels, towers, labs, and a large core at the center. The core runs the entire simulation, he said. Destroy it, and the system collapses. You wake up for real this time. Leah stared at the glowing red center. What happens if I fail? He looked down. Then you reset, again, and next time you might not remember anything. Suddenly, an alarm blared. The white space shook. A countdown appeared in the air. 0 hours 29 minutes and 57 seconds. Self-repair initiated. They know you broke free, the boy said. They're fixing the loop. In 30 minutes, everything resets. Including us. Leah's heart pounded. Then tell me how to get there. The boy reached into thin air and pulled out a device, half map, half weapon. You'll need to move through Zone X. That's where the Watchers live. Leah narrowed her eyes. The things that hunted me? He nodded. They're not real creatures. They're broken memories, your darkest ones. Perfect, she whispered. Let's go. They stepped into a hallway. This time it was metal. Real, cold. The illusion was fading. She could see the edges of the simulation glitching like broken mirrors. Lights flickered above them as they moved fast. Sparks flew from the walls. Then roars from deep inside the vents. The Watchers had seen them. One dropped from the ceiling. 7 feet tall. A black, faceless beast with Leah's voice whispering from its body. You don't belong outside. Go. Back to the loop. She fired the device. Boom. A blast of blue light pushed it back into the wall. They ran. They reached the final chamber. A door marked Core Access Receipt. The boy placed his hand on the panel. Nothing. I can't open it, he said. Only you can. Why? Because this whole thing was built for you. Leah stepped forward. Her palm hit the door. Green light. Access granted. The door slid open. Inside, a glowing orb floating above machines. Data poured out like liquid, swirling into screens showing versions of her. Leah walked toward it. The closer she got, the more memories came back. A hospital bed, a needle, a contract signed by her mother. Let her join the program. If she survives, she'd be stronger. This wasn't just a test. It was a choice made without her. Her hands curled into fists. She turned to the boy. What happens if I destroy the core? He smiled. You wake up, and the rest of us finally sleep. She hesitated. Then, without another word, she slammed the device into the core. Crack, shatter. The entire room exploded with light. The countdown stopped at 0 hours 1 minute and 4 seconds. Silence. Darkness. Then. A beep. Leah gasped and opened her eyes. She was in a hospital. Real. She looked at her hands. No wires. No traps, no shadows, just her. A nurse ran in. She's awake. But Leah wasn't looking at them. She stared at the ceiling and whispered to herself. Was it all just in my mind? But she knew the answer, because in her closed hand. She still held the broken piece of the device. Wish fulfilled? It was silent. Too silent. Leah lay in a soft hospital bed, white sheets wrapped around her. A monitor beeped gently nearby. Her body was clean, her leg uninjured. The air smelled of medicine and sunlight. A nurse smiled as she adjusted the 4. You're safe now. Everything's okay. But Leah wasn't listening. Her hand was closed around something cold. Hidden beneath the sheet, a small, broken device. From the forest. From the simulation. From the trap. It shouldn't be here. But it was. The nurse turned. You've been in a coma for 3 years. Leah blinked. 3 years? The nurse nodded. There was an accident, a hiking fall. You were found near some old tech equipment. Unconscious. A doctor entered. His coat was too white. His eyes didn't blink enough. We're glad you're back, Leah, he said. His smile was perfect. Too perfect. Leah looked at the window. Outside, blue sky, birds, trees, a peaceful view. But then she noticed something. In the clouds. A small flicker, a blinking red light. She looked closer. Not a plane. Not a drone. It was the same red light from the simulation. Her breath caught. She sat up. This isn't real. The doctor looked confused. Leah, your brain is recovering. You're just disoriented. No, she said. I've seen this room before. She ripped the monitor wires off and stood. Her legs were shaky but strong. The nurse moved forward. Please lie down. No, Leah said sharply. You're not real. None of this is. Suddenly, the room glitched. Just a flicker. For a fraction of a second, the walls rippled like water. The doctor's voice slowed, then returned to normal. She backed away, breathing hard. I'm still inside, she whispered. She turned and ran out of the room, down the white hall. Staff passed her, smiling too wide, walking in perfect rhythm. No one tried to stop her. She reached a metal door marked Exit Protocol, Authorized. Patience ONLY. She pressed her palm against it. Green light. Access granted. The door opened, and beyond it, no hospital. Just darkness. Endless, empty black. And then, footsteps. She turned slowly. The boy from the simulation stood there, hands in his pockets. You woke up. But not fully. Leah's voice cracked. Where am I? He shrugged. The space between. You broke the simulation, but not the system. You escaped. Into another layer. Her knees went weak. How many layers are there? The boy looked up at the ceiling at nothing and said, as many as it takes. Until you stop wishing. She remembered. The trap. The star. The wish. I don't want to die. Her wish had been granted. She didn't die. But she had been running ever since. Boy stepped closer. You can stay here, safe, comfortable. Or you can go deeper. Find the source. Risk everything. Leah looked at the red light blinking above the door, then at her hand still holding the broken device. Finally, she whispered, I don't want safety anymore. I want the truth. The boy smiled, then stepped forward. She did. And as she crossed into the dark, the world around her shattered like glass.